Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, distinguished colleagues and fellow researchers. My name is Taufiq Rahman, and I am honored to present our study title, Influence of Socioeconomic Characteristics on Travel Behavior, a case study of Malang City, Indonesia. This research was conducted in collaboration with Prof. Pratikso and Dr. Kartono Wibowo from the Civil Engineering Department at Sultan Agung Islamic University. Our study explored how socioeconomic factors such as income, education, occupation, and vehicle ownership shape daily travel pattern in Malang, a rapidly urbanizing with city with complex mobility dynamic. Through statistical modeling and field data analysis, we aim to provide insight that support sustainable and inclusive transportation planning. I look forward to sharing our findings and engaging in meaningful dialogue during this session. Thank you for your attention. To begin, this slide outlines the urban mobility challenges in Malang City and the rationale behind our research. Malang is experiencing rapid urban growth, driven by population expansion and increasing urbanization. This has led to a surge in private vehicle ownership, placing pressure on road infrastructure and contributing to congestion. Additionally, the city's economy is increasingly service-based, concentrated around educational institutions. This has triggered the growth of student residential area, creating complex mobility patterns that are not easily addressed by conventional transport planning. Despite this dynamic, there remains a knowledge gap in understanding how socioeconomic factors such as income, education, employment, and vehicle ownership shape daily travel behavior. In response, our study set out three key research objectives. First, to identify socioeconomic variable influencing travel behavior in Malang. Two, analyze relationship between socioeconomic characteristic and transportation mode preference. Three, provide recommendation for sustainable transportation planning. Method, we conducted a household survey involving 200 randomly selected respondents across urban areas of Malang. The questionnaire captures socioeconomic attributes such as gender, age, education, occupation, income, household size, and vehicle ownership, as well as travel characteristics including trip frequency, mode choice, and um, purpose of travel purpose. Yeah. Data were analyzed using descriptive statistic and stepwise multiple regression to identify significant predictor of travel behavior. We begin with descriptive statistic using frequency and percentage to summarize the socioeconomic characteristics of respondents, and then to explore predictive relationship, we employ stepwise regression analysis, uh, and then we develop three separate model, each with a distinct dependent variable, yeah, trip frequency, trip purpose, and transport mode. The independent variable tests across this model include age, income, gender, education, occupation, household size, and vehicle ownership. Result and discuss. Starting with gender and age distribution, we observed a relatively balanced sample. 53.5 thousand male and 46 26.5% female. The nominal age group is between 23 and 45 years old, accounting for 51% of respondents. In terms of education level, the majority hold a diploma or bachelor degree. Yeah. While only a small fraction have a primary or middle school education. Notable, Notably, no respondent report holding a master degree. Regarding household size, most respondents live in household with more than three members. Finally, the income distribution revealed that the 91.5% of respondents earn less than 3 million rupiah per month. This indicates a predominance of lower income group in our sample, which has important implication for affordability, transport access, and mode choice. The result, the next result is about occupational background and vehicle ownership. Yeah. Starting with occupation, we see that students make up the largest group at 31.5%. And then on the right, we observe vehicle ownership, which provide insight into transport accessibility. A significant portion of respondents, 44%, own both a car and a motorcycle, indicating middle income status and greater flexibility in travel choice. Meanwhile, 37% own only a motorcycle and 19% own only a car. Result of travel characteristic. First, regarding the number of trips made per day, the majority of respondents reporting making exactly 2 trips daily. Second, the purpose of travel. Uh, the purpose of travel is dominated by work-related trips, accounting for 60.5% of respondents. The third, in terms of mode of transportation, private vehicles are the preferred choice for 71% of respondents, while only 29% rely on public transport. These travel characteristics provide essential context for interpreting the regression model and understanding how socioeconomic factors interact with daily mobility pattern. They also underscore the urgency of designing transport system that accommodate diverse trip purpose and promote model shift toward more sustainable option. This slide presents the result of our regression analysis for the trip frequency model, which examines the relationship between socioeconomic variable and the number of trips made per day. Yeah. Statistically, this model show that education is the only significant predictor of trip frequency among the variable tests. Other socioeconomic factors such as income, occupation, or household size did not show significant influence in this model. This slide presents the regression result for the trip purpose model, which explore how socioeconomic variable influence the reason people travel, whether for work, school, shopping, or recreation. Occupation has the strongest positive effect with a coefficient of 0.187 and highly significant p-value. Education also show a positive and significant effect, indicating that higher educational attainment is associated with more purposeful travel, particularly for work and school. Interestingly, income has a negative effect, suggesting that higher income individual may have more flexible schedule or fewer routine travel obligation, possibly due to remote work or access to private service. This slide presents the regression result for the transport mode model, which investigates whether socioeconomic variables significantly influence respondent choice of transport mode. As shown in the table, none of the test variables like gender, age, education, household size, occupation, or income were statistically significant predictor of mode choice. This finding is particularly important. It suggests that transport mode choice is not driven by socioeconomic status, but rather by external factors such as service quality, infrastructure availability, and accessibility. In other words, regardless of income or education level, people tend to choose transport modes based on how reliable, safe, and convenient those modes are. This slide summarizes the key interpretation derived from our regression model and socioeconomic analysis. Yeah. First, the impact of education is clear. Second, occupation emerges as the strongest predictor of trip purpose. Third, we observe an income paradox. While income is often assumed to increase mobility, our models show a negative relationship with trip purpose. This may be due to higher income individuals living closer to amenities or having access to remote services, reducing their need for frequent travel. Finally, when it comes to mode choice, socioeconomic variables are not significant. This slide outlines the key policy implication derived from our finding, structure into two domains, transportation planning and target intervention. Under transportation planning, we recommended shifting the focus away from demographic segmentation and toward improving service quality, reliability, and infrastructure. Second, we emphasize the need to enhance modal integration. We also advocate for transit-oriented development. On this side of targeted intervention, we propose education program. Yeah. We also suggest integrating occupational zones into transport planning. Finally, we call for an equity-focused approach. This recommendation aim to support a more inclusive, responsive, and sustainable urban transport system, one that reflects that the lived realities of diverse population and prioritize service excellence over demographic assumption. Conclusion. First, in the trip frequency model, we found that education is the sole significant predictor. Second, the trip purpose model revealed that occupation, education, and income collectively explain 61% of the variance. Third, in the mode choice model, None of the socioeconomic variables were statistically significant. As we conclude this presentation, I'd like to highlight several promising directions for future research that could deepen our understanding of urban mobility in Malang and similar cities. First, spatial analysis. Second, we recommend exploring attitudinal dimension. Third, integrating lifestyle factor, including environmental value, digital habit, and mobility preferences. Four, longitudinal studies are needed to track behavioral changes over time. Finally, the digital influence of e-commerce, online education, and remote work deserve closer attention. Together, this research direction offer a roadmap for building more responsive, inclusive, and future-ready transport system. That concludes my presentation. I sincerely appreciate your attention and engagement throughout this session. If you have any question, reflection, or would like to explore potential collaboration, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to continue the conversation beyond this forum. You can contact me via email at taufikurrahmanuping@gmail.com. I'm affiliated with Sultan Agung Islamic University in Semarang, where I focus on civil and environmental engineering education, curriculum innovation, and socio-technical research. Thank you once again, and I look forward to meaningful exchanges that advance our shared goal in sustainable urban mobility and academic development. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.